Yeah, this anime rules, guys. Girls Band Cry is a certified great anime. Do you want characters that feel down to earth and feel genuine and feel human? It's got that. You want CG animation with as much expressiveness and detail and love as a Studio Orange production? You got it. What about actually good music that doesn't fall into the traditional stereotype of just anime girls singing on stage? Well, get ready to hop on Spotify. But finally, and most importantly, do you actually want to watch Girls Band Cry? Well, I'm sorry to say, you can't. Girls Band Cry is in one of the worst positions that you can be in as a currently airing seasonal. The show is really good. People clearly want to watch the show, but there is no way to actually do so. This anime has not been licensed by any official company in the United States. Crunchyroll, Netflix, Disney+, I would even take Amazon Prime at this point, none of them have this series, which unfortunately makes actually watching it in a decent state a lot more complicated. Now, I know what you're about to tell me, but Sage, just go to one of those fancy, universal, morally ethical, unofficial sites to watch this series, and everything will be just fine. Crunchyroll be damned. And you're right, but you're also completely wrong. You see, these sites, these pages that shall not be named for the sanctity of my own channel, these sites don't get these subtitles for anime out of thin air. These sites are not the ones making the subtitles for these series. Those subtitles, more often than not, especially these days, have to come from either an official source, like Crunchyroll, like Netflix, or a kind group of fans who are dedicating huge chunks of their lives to fan translation so that people like us can watch these Japanese cartoons. God bless their hearts, and Girls Band Cry is in fact so good that it has spawned multiple different fan translations in the effort of bringing this series to the people. There's one fan translation that comes out just hours after the episode is aired, so people can watch this series as soon as possible. There's another one that comes out a few days later, but is also just much more extensive and professionally done. We're talking karaoke lyrics and everything. And there's even one that is essentially exclusive to my Discord server, as far as I know, done by one of the members there. Discord.gg PhenomSage. Basically, what I'm trying to get across is that, yeah, this series is surprisingly accessible for something that technically doesn't even have a single company localizing the anime, but it's only accessible because fans gave a shit enough to step in and do what they couldn't. And unfortunately, when you have to rely on fans, it can also lead to problems like this. Despite there being legitimate, fast solutions to watching this series on a weekly basis, some degenerate is rushing to process this series through a machine translation and pumping out their butchered release before anyone else on the day of airing. Just wait a few hours, guys, there's a good translation on the way. It's a pretty goddamn stupid situation, but ordinarily it'd also be pretty harmless. It's just memes, it's just machine translation. Just don't watch it and wait for the actual good releases. Why are you even talking about this right now? The problem is that I've actually seen these meme machine translations working their way into actual streaming sites and a bunch of people watching them without knowing any better. Because this guy uploads his stuff immediately before these fans can even write their first line of translation, it means that a lot of these sites who rely on automation and bots end up taking the first piece of subtitled media and uploading it to streaming without actually checking the quality. I know it's shocking, but it turns out a lot of these pirate sites do not, in fact, care about quality. Don't ask me why Meme Man continues to do this, especially when he literally tells you every single week, hey, this release is garbage, don't watch it. But you should listen to him and make sure you're watching the actual good releases of this show's really well done script. However, beyond any kind of subtitle drama, the real question that I keep coming back to at this point is, why? Why can't I watch this series? What would compel any of these companies to intentionally ignore such a promising and viral anime right from the beginning of the season? I mean, this is fucking Crunchyroll we're talking about. They pick up literal nothingness. They pick up stuff that I don't think a single soul has ever laid eyes on before. There is no good reason why they would have turned down licensing and subtitling this series. If anything, they were probably kicking themselves when they saw Girls Band Cry clips exploding on Twitter and couldn't use them to promote their website. So if it's not on these services' end, then it has to be on the Japanese side, right? Toei probably told them, no, we're not letting you filthy Americans watch this. But again, this doesn't make any sense to me. Toei has never had any issue streaming their new anime in America. One Piece and Precure are weekly simulcasted. The Girls Band Cry music videos have official English translations on YouTube right now. They even tweeted about this series from their official Toei account in English, seemingly promoting the series to a Western audience. So what the hell happened? If you came to this video for an answer, I'm sorry, but I really have nothing right now. There is so much about this situation that is just completely baffling to me, and I really don't know who is at fault right now for the horrible release situation for this genuinely great series. So, for now, all I can really do is tell you all to pick up a YouTube guide, learn how to torrent, don't use uTorrent, and watch this series through the fan sub releases that are put out on the website that rhymes with Gia. Make sure you're watching the actual good versions, do not watch that machine translated garbage, and keep praying that for whatever reason we'll suddenly get official translations for this in the coming weeks. Because the show really does deserve it. I think the reason why there's been such an outcry from people watching it is because we all see something really special here that isn't getting the treatment it deserves. And believe me, I've been here from the very beginning. From the very conception of this franchise, I knew it would be something really cool. What I love about Girls Band Cry is that at its core, it doesn't even really feel that focused on the band aspect. I already know somebody somewhere is going to tell me, I don't like Band Girls series. That's just one step away from me watching an Idol series, and I can't do that. No. Shut up. This series is surprisingly zoned in much more so on just this story of a girl moving to Tokyo and trying to come to grips with her life there while making friends and dealing with some heavy internal problems. I'm honestly pretty sure that she has bipolar syndrome at this point. Every single character in Girls Band Cry just feels really authentic and fun to watch in a way that you really don't see often in original anime these days. And when your show and characters feel so grounded in reality that they have to include a disclaimer clarifying that this is in fact a work of fiction, you're probably doing something right. The fact that these are all new voice actors and new entertainers in the industry is just the cherry on top as far as giving it that amateur, grounded feel. What doesn't feel amateur though is the absolutely absurd production that this series has in every single facet. Now, I won't lie to you, when I saw what this series looked like initially, I wasn't really sure what to think about it. I definitely wasn't sold. I mean, it's CG, which I don't have an issue with on its own, but it's CG that looks so different than any other CG that you see in anime. It's just so smooth. It's like a video game or a Disney animation. It doesn't entirely feel like anime. But once I actually watched the series and got acquainted with this style, I grew to absolutely love it. I already know right next to those people who aren't going to watch it because it's about band girls is another group who aren't going to watch it because it's CG, but I genuinely think this is the best CG anime has ever looked, alongside the greats from Studio Orange like Land of the Lustrous and Trigun Stampede. Everything is just so animated at all times. The tiniest details and the tiniest scenes are never missed. Even when one character happens to be a focus, you'll never not see the other characters also animated in subtle but great ways. The exaggerated movements and posing, the character designs and lighting, the sheer creativity in these shots and ideas and ways of utilizing these models, it's craft that you rarely see even from 2D animated productions productions, let alone an entirely 3D one. And that also extends to the absolutely incredible performances in Girls Band Cry. I know I said that the band aspect isn't as big of a focus as you would expect, but there's definitely still band aspects, which means performances, which means pure cinema. A big theme at the core of the series is one of using this band and using music as a way of venting all of these characters' pent-up feelings and inner ambitions, and the performances on just a visual level convey that better than anything that I can think of in recent memory. There's such a visceral energy that comes through the screen when you're watching these characters perform, their mannerisms, the camera work, the cleverness in their outfit design. It's unbelievably good and only elevates this material even higher. And there's a reason for why all of this stuff looks this good and why it all comes together in the way that it does. Remember when I was shilling Love Live Sunshine a few years back, saying that it's the best Love Live has ever been and ever will be? Well, that director has returned to direct Girls Band Cry. And yeah, I know that doesn't really help my case about this not being a typical girl band idol adjacent anime, but just trust me, this director is absolutely incredible, and it's clear that he has not lost his touch in the slightest. Girls Band Cry is great. Will it stick the landing? I couldn't tell you for sure, but having watched over half the series already with rarely a single miss, it seems like a pretty safe bet to me. Crunchyroll, Toei, whoever needs to hear this, please license this series so more people can watch it. Not everybody wants to pirate their anime, and I'm sure that you don't want them to either. We want to support this series, and at the very least, we want to watch it in the best form that it can possibly be in. Join the Discord server in the description below if you want to chat about Girls Band Cry and make friends just like Nina does. If everything goes well, we might even be starting a band ourselves. Subscribe for my future videos, follow me on Twitter for various ramblings. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.